Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Today we're going to be making a ring and an inlay cross using wood from the deck of the USS Iowa. So let's go to the shop. And this is a piece of the deck from the Iowa, BB-61, the Battleship Iowa. And it was commissioned in 1941, I believe. And was one of the two ships that entered Tokyo Bay for the signing of the surrender treaty. Yeah, a lot of history in Iowa. We're going to make a stainless steel inlay ring and a stainless steel cross from the wood of Iowa. And I've cut a little piece off here, and it's been stabilized. So now we're going to go ahead and bore it out, and then to fit this ring, and then level it down, and then we'll cut little pieces for this cross and inlay that. We've got a 24mm Forstner bit chucked up. We'll bring him over to the wood, and then we are going to bore him out. Now this ring is, the width of that channel is 6mm. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this boring bit in until he just hits the back of the wood. When he just peeks out to the back of the wood, we're going to call that our 0 point, all the way at the back of the wood. So then I turn on my DRO, digital readout, 0 it. We're going to pull him back to just over 6mm. We'll do a little sanding, but that's okay. So pull him back. Then we just tighten him down here to keep him from moving around, using our carriage lock that we built for him. And now I'll use this boring bar and I'll pull it this way as he's spinning, and that will take off some of the wood and leave just at 6mm. So let's do that. Alright. I'll mark him here. Move this guy back. You can see he's made like a little shelf right there. And that'll go into that ring core. Fit in there. Alright, here's this ring core, and you can see I've cut in, and it's got now this kind of shelf. And when we measure this, it's 6mm, the width of that ring core, the channel. And when I measure here, this little tail pops out the same amount, and you can see if I put it right here and measure that little shelf, it's flush, so that's right at 6mm, so that should fit really good. So now we just need to go, and with the grain we're going to cut on the bandsaw 2 relief cuts so that we can break him evenly. Then we'll mount him on here with 2-part epoxy. And you can see how we cut right here, but we don't cut all the way because we want to break it, because if we cut, we'd be cutting away wood and then it wouldn't fit right. It wouldn't make a good perfect circle when we mount him into that ring core. So we're going to go ahead and break him and mount him with 2-part epoxy. Alright, this is the moment of truth. You see how good we did. So we break him. Ooh, listen to that great break. Now we see how we're fitting. And I think that looks as good as you can get it. Still got a little bit of room for turn-in, so we can have room for the epoxy. So looking really good, really good. So now I'm just going to put some little scratches on the inside of this wood, just so I get a good bond, something for that two-part epoxy to grab onto. And as this is stainless steel, I can do the same thing on this guy too. I give him some scratches here on the inside, just so he has something for that epoxy to grab onto. It just gets a better hold, a better bond than being on that slick surface. I just got to be careful when I do that, because blood is not a good bonding agent. Important safety tip. First thing we do is we clean up the wood with some denatured alcohol, and just to get a good clean surface, get any that dust off of the wood. See how it kind of comes off. Get some dusty off the wood, that's good. And we always do the wood first, because then it gives it a chance for this alcohol to kind of dry off the wood. Okay. There we go. There we go. And then we clean up the ring core itself. Even though it looks clean, it could have some oil on there from the machining. I'm going to make sure we get any of that off. Maybe a little bit of smudge off that ring core. So that's what we want. We want it nice and clean. Alright, now we just put our two-part epoxy here. We have equal parts of the epoxy and the hardener. Just equal globs. We get one of our patented jeweler's tools here. And mix up that two-part epoxy. And get it mixed. And this epoxy is a very strong epoxy used for, actually for repairing boats, I think is what they use it for. But it's 24 hours for it to fully cure, which makes sure that we get a good bond. And this stuff is really good. I'm very impressed with it. At one point I was using when I first started, I was using like 5-minute epoxy. It's good for some things, but not for doing something like this. So we go ahead and we put the epoxy on the wood first, because we want to let it kind of soak in a little bit. Give it a little time to soak in there into that wood. The other side I put it on the ends too, where it'll bond together. And then we put the epoxy on the ring core itself on that channel all the way around, so that we get that good wet to wet bond. So we want to make sure we don't have any air pockets or dry spots. Just take your time going around. And since it's 24-hour epoxy, you don't have to be too fast. You don't have to hurry up. We just want to make sure we get good and wet all the way around. Alrighty. Once we do that, we just put this down here. Put this down here. Give it a good squeeze. That's good and tight down there. A little bit of a turn. We get a smooch off of there. If I can get some of it cleaned up. Now it makes it a little easier to clean and then later. So we just give it a little bit of a turn, just a little bit, so you know that he's going to be good and bonded. Then we put this little clamp on him, and just to hold him down. It's not too tight, just to keep him nice and firm. And now we just let this sit overnight for that epoxy to cure. Now we're gonna trim a piece of this wood right here so it fits right into that little cross inlay. So we just need to kind of sand him a little bit to get him where he fits right in there. There we go. That fits. Now we just need to cut him. We're going to slice him off on this little tiny little saw I have. Now I'm just going to cut a little piece of him off on this little tiny little table saw. Alright, we're just going to mark this guy here where he fits. And we'll cut him. Since it's a small piece, we'll just cut him with that. Boop, just like that. He should fit right in there. Just like that. Alright, now we just need to cut some little pieces for the arms. These two pieces right here. Alright. That'll do it. Alright, now we just need to bond that in. Alright, one thing I did is a little protective, some tape over that where the ring goes, or the mount, so we don't want to get that too filled up with glue. So now we kind of saturate him, and that'll go in between the wood and the metal. Get that good all the way around on the edges too. That's the biggest part we need to do. Flip them over. Make sure we get them good in there too. Oop. And let's let him cure, and then we'll put some more in him. Alright, let's go ahead and sand this guy level with the metal. Alright, let's do some hand sanding. That's my favorite. Get it down all the way. Pretty good. Now we just need to do another layer of finish on the wood. Alright, a little sanding along the edges. Alright, it's the next day, and here's that ring all nice and bonded in, and the 2-part epoxy secured really good. So we're going to go ahead and cut around here with the bandsaw. Then we'll put them on the lathe. We'll turn down that wood to be level with the metal. Then we'll put some polish on it, the clear finish. Then we'll sand it, polish it, get it all nice and pretty. Oh, and here's that that cross that I made out of the matching wood. So, or add another piece of this. So, really nice. It's going to be a match set for the customer. So let's get working on the ring. Okay, now we're gonna give them a little sanding with some 800 grit sandpaper. Go through the Dr. Kirch scratch free, the 1, 2, and 3, and then the diamond ring polish using the shop towel. Alright, here's that piece of the Battleship Iowa, and then the ring and the cross that I made from it. So it came out pretty good. So if you would like to have a ring made from the Battleship Iowa, Battleship New Jersey, Battleship Texas, got a bunch of different battleships, Major League Baseball rings, Major League Baseball bats, the stock of an M1 Garand, check out hillcountryrings.com, see some of the other rings that I make.
And if you'd like to leave a comment on what kind of ring you'd like to see me make, I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, if you'd like to like and subscribe, that really help the channel. But really like to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.